It'll be a difficult task as the playoffs will unfold next week. It'll either be Pistons in Cleveland or Pistons and Indiana, but they will host the first 2 games. We don't know yet when game 1 is, do we?
No, we'll find that out probably Sunday night.
Rick Mahorn with a see you later kind of jam as Barkley just nailed Laimbeer on the chin with a lefty. And now fires another one. Barkley and Laimbeer slammed by, this is ugly. Barkley and Mahorn at the bottom of that. This is really nasty. Edwards and Mahorn, 2 friends ready to duel.
I'll tell you, you knew this was coming when Barkley swore he was going to fight Laimbeer, and no one did anything about it in the NBA.
Well, some major league fines that have come out of this baby. Hastings and Anderson are trading verbal jabs. Cooler heads have to prevail. This game is well beyond win and loss now. Laimbeer tagged, or I should say Barkley tagged Laimbeer with a left. Didn't seem to hit him that hard. Billy didn't seem to flinch about it, but he had to go after him.
Oh, you have no choice. And as we say, Barkley's been threatening to do this for a long, long time. And I don't know of any censure or anything that there has been on him. And so he had his opportunity this time.
Laimbeer's left eye is bloodied.
Well, it already was, in all fairness.
But it's been re-injured. Billy wearing a smile and getting some playful jabs from his teammates for hanging in there with Barkley. That means a lot to the rest of the guys to his team. But certainly some fines will be assessed when the league office gets a look at this tape tomorrow. And I would imagine Barkley will get hit with a $5,000 fine or so. Laimbeer walks off the floor to some cheers and jeers from the Sixers. Now more trouble. They better get him out of there. This is like a hockey game. Edwards and Rodman trying to refuel things here. Referees have their hands full. Some yeehaws on the floor taking pictures. And now the Sixers heading down the tunnel. Oh my, this is really nasty. They're going to have to get the security forces going. The entire Philadelphia bench just went down the tunnel. And gosh knows what's happening down there.
Ought to just call off the game, Fred.
14 seconds left. Wow. I don't recall ever seeing this in an NBA game. It just exploded.
Well, you can't see too much there at home. Right now, they're just trying to separate the teams. You get a look at it right there as Barkley heads down the tunnel. A couple of the Philadelphia players coming back on the floor right now. Well, this is going to be, you talked about a setup for the playoffs if it comes. It's going to be a wild one. I'll tell you one thing, I would never want to upset this Piston club, because when they play with emotion and intensity, it's a very, very good one, and their defensive abilities really take over. Right now, it's just a challenge to manhood and everything like that, and nobody wants to back down from either team.
I'm frankly surprised they're letting him come out and play. For what reason? It's a 10-point game.
What you may want to do as a coach is put your reserves in right now. You don't want to get anybody hurt. If there's any lingering anger or anything like that out there on the floor from any of the players that are still here and were involved in the fracas, cheap fouls could take place. You put yourself in a very vulnerable position out there. Let's just get this night over with and forgotten about.
And how?
Things happen when you get in crowds. We've seen it happen with basketball players. We've seen it happen in football and baseball the other day in a college game. You know, just a frightening fight because you're out there and you don't know where people are coming from. And these people are so big, if someone wants to take a cheap shot at you, it can be a career wrecker.
But I'll tell you what, I am glad Isiah Thomas wasn't around for it, because you know doggone well he'd have been right in the middle of that whole mess trying to help out Laimbeer. And as you say, that's exactly when somebody can get hurt.
There was a hard foul, and then here you see the contact begin.
Laimbeer came over.
There's your sucker punch from Barkley.
Yeah, caught him twice. Laimbeer with an uppercut in there as the crowd's getting a look at it on the scoreboard.
Here's where it gets dangerous, right in here. When people are down on the floor, because a punch can come from any place. And if you're on the bottom of the stack, look out.
I just really found it interesting that Mahorn and Edwards were almost ready to exchange blows. And I mean, you're talking guys that even throughout the season have maintained telephone contact because there was a real closeness that developed between the two locker neighbors last year in this club.
You have to remember that Ricky is Ricky, and he had a reputation, and you tend to overlook it when a guy with a reputation plays for your team. You get caught up in fandom, but he's known as a player that, you know, does instigate a little bit, and you like it for a few years when he's on your side, but, you know, problems can develop.
Gerald Henderson misfiring, and another 7 seconds to play, and we can get out of here.
You can worry about little things. You've got a guy like Joe Dumars out there with the broken hand, and he's right there in the middle of everything.
By the way, Hastings, Laimbeer, and Barkley were all ejected. So that carries an automatic fine of $500 a pop. But Barkley certainly will get more. So will Laimbeer. 107-97. And Philadelphia celebrates its first divisional title in 7 years. And perhaps they will meet again in the merry, merry month of May. Wow. 107-97, the final score. We'll be back to wrap it up after this timeout.